obvious question, but what went wrong tonight?
Well, we didn't set a tone, and this team is going to have to play with an edge. And, we came off a really good game where we played with a big edge. And, our teams always do that. They play with a great edge. And we let them get comfortable, and we let them make threes, and we let them do what they wanted to do, dictate the game to us. And then it created, we played desperate. Then I'd have some guys playing good offensively, but not defensively. Some guys playing good defensively, not offensively. And that when you play and try to figure out 10 guys, it's hard to get the right combinations a little bit. But the thing that will be crystal clear and that these guys will understand is the right combination will start with who can guard, who's going to be the toughest guy out there on the floor, and that's the guys that are going to play. So sometimes guys get a little comfortable and get a little not rest on their laurels, but I've done this before, so I deserve to play. It has nothing to do with it. It's an everyday thing, and in this day and age, there's just too many good players out there that it doesn't matter who you show up against. If you don't play a good game and a hard game and a tough game, they'll beat you. Simple as that. It doesn't matter who you play. And that showed tonight. I mean, you got to give Hawaii Pacific a lot of credit. They made tough shots. They dictated everything that we did. They dictated the game. They did whatever they wanted. They out-physicaled us, and then we just played frustrated. So a lot to learn from this one. It's a painful lesson and a painful pill to swallow on the first night, but, guess it's what this team needed.
The defensive breakdowns, I know you pride yourself on defense.
Yeah.
Where were those at?
What do you mean?
Breakdown. What broke down on defense for you guys tonight?
Well, where do I start? There was, first of all, you let them get comfortable and make a bunch of threes. We don't give up threes. And then, our scouting was very, very limited because those guys hadn't played an exhibition or anything. So you're going off last year. So, but what was presented to those guys was actually pretty right on for going off last year's stuff and previous. And we just let guys stare us down and shoot threes. And if you then they got comfortable and they were like, oh, well, we can do this all night. And that's what they did.
That last play, was it just Dylan waiting for the right shot, or did you want him to pass it off a little when he was holding?
We want him to attack.
Yeah.
Because he can go by guys and he can attack.
Did you want him to wait that long though?
No. Wanted to attack right away.
You mentioned a couple times that you let them kind of get comfortable and make threes. Like, at what point in the night did you sense that your team maybe was getting a little complacent?
They weren't. I sensed not complacency, frustration. You can't play frustrated. I mean, then you look up and it's a one possession game. Both ways. Us a little bit at the end, but you're like, and that's not our. We've responded well to adversity, the little bit that we faced so far this year, but you got under the lights and didn't respond to any adversity. We really came unglued a little bit.
Leo, like you said, best of pills to swallow, opening nights, Division II school. I mean, can you think of any time in your career that you've had a result like this that you can think of, draw from at all?
Well, yeah, you have, every year you have something that's sports. Stuff goes wrong, and it's how you respond and how you adjust to it. And like I said, I guess that's what they needed. You usually get what you need, not what you want. And I think that's what this team must have needed. And, so we dust ourselves off and don't feel sorry for ourselves. Nobody's gonna. We've probably got the better teams coming next on Saturday. So, it's a tough way for us to ring in the year, but I'd rather have it happen November 3rd than later, and we'll fix it. We always do.
Where did JV a tough night?
that's $1 million question. He was, getting to the spot he wanted to, but and then it was almost like power outage. He usually finishes all that stuff, but it was one after another after another. I mean, they were 1-inchers. Yeah, so that's a bit of a mentality.
I mean, you look at JB and Peanut and just some of your returns, man, you guys were in a lot of fights last year. And
Yeah.
in these moments, how much do you need? I know you brought in some new guys, but the guys that have been through those fires before in the blue and orange, how much do you need those guys in these moments?
No doubt, and not to make hero plays, but to make the right plays, and that's what we didn't do. I mean, there were times the post was open, and we just drove it into a pile. Just no sense of what we're trying to get done, and we'll fix that. They're all things that are fixable, and but you'd like to learn the lesson with finishing that game right.
Just with some new guys, Dylan, Drew, some incoming freshmen. How are you liking how they're gelling so far? Do you want to see
Well, I
more
hate it
of them?
after tonight, but
Well,
if you'd asked me a week ago, I would have been like, yeah, this is promising. And it doesn't mean it's not promising. It means that, they're going to learn. These guys, they're good competitors. They're smart guys. But they'll learn, and I'll learn, because the thing that I'll learn is I'm going to play the guys that are the scrappiest, toughest, nastiest players, and that understand, the team thing and how we play, and not that, I don't think we have selfish guys. We don't, but there's you can't just go make a play by yourself. You gotta, it's got to be a team thing, and that's got to be the strength of our team.
You're saying this could be one of your, hopefully one of your better shooting teams, and you go, 10 of 33 from 3, and a lot of them seem to open. I mean,
Oh,
just one of
did
those
they
nights,
ever.
just a lot of shots in the paint too, just missing. It was just one of those kind of, I don't know, first game jitters or what, but it just seemed like a lot of shots that you'll over the course of the season make a lot of.
No doubt. I know that but you never evaluate a win or a loss by the shot making. Sometimes shot making covers up stuff. We just beat a good team before and didn't make any shots, so we can't do it. But there's a formula to do it, and we didn't follow that formula.
But just the excitement coming into the season and everything, and the fans, and it was a pretty good crowd tonight and everything. And what's kind of it was pretty quiet after when the buzzer sounded, then walking out tonight. I mean, what's kind of the message, I guess, in terms of it being one game and wanting them to come back on Saturday, and how much season's still
Oh yeah, I mean, our fans are great. I mean, they understand basketball, that this is not, at least they got entertained with a good game. I mean, geez, even though the wrong team won, but and they, like I said, you got to give them some credit. Those guys made shots, and they were tough, and they were smart, and they were together. A lot of things that we usually are, and so I know our fans won't abandon us. They, it's November 3rd. If we're playing like this December 3rd, then it's a different conversation, but we won't be.
Obviously, a lot that you probably want to work on between now and Saturday. Just kind of one of the base things that you want to kind of clean up.
Just our grittiness, our attention to details. We had no attention to details, so that's.
Leo, I guess just as a small bright spot, Spencer Aaron's tonight. He seemed pretty fluid shooting, as advertised. Just what do you have to say about him?
No, he's a really good freshman. Really good freshman. And I mean, look at him. He came in and 5 for 9, 4 for 7 from 3, 6 rebounds, 14 points. You can't ask for anything more than him. He did his part. And I thought his hand got hit on that last 3 too. And so I thought he did a great job. I was proud of Spence. He's a good player.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Actually, loaded question about